Hello everyone, welcome to DTB TV. This is the new Friday night show. It seems to be working a lot better now, which is good news. I'll just wait for you all to join quickly. Before I set up everything. All good. All right, Scott, mate. All good. Welcome to the Friday night show with me, Neil McMillan, and DTB TV. I've got some pieces to read out, which have been really interesting to spot today in today's Liverpool Echo. Yeah, cheers, Scott, mate. All good, mate. All good. Cheers for that. Yeah, so what I'm going to be doing today, this is a new show that I'm going to be doing. It's going to be like about 45 minutes long. Well, about half an hour, 45 minutes long. Just some subjects that I've picked up out of the paper. The chief writer of Liverpool, a couple of pieces from him. A piece of Harvey Elliott. This new lad, Bobby Clark, as well. There's going to be a piece on that by him. And then the pieces by Ian Doyle, who's Liverpool's chief writer. A Q&A. And then we'll just do a little 10 minutes after that. So yeah, welcome to DTB TV and my brand new show, the Friday Night Show. It will eventually have guests with me that will join in with me, but I just want to get it up and running for the first few weeks myself and get sort of like a TV guide sort of thing, sort of like, put it this way, it won't be as boring as a Champions League draw yesterday. Yeah, see you tomorrow, Michael. All right, Scott, all good, up and running. Right, well, this is the first piece that I'm going to read out, and this is about Harvey Elliott. And then what we'll do is every time I do a piece, we'll then talk about that subject and we'll move on to the next one. This is how the Friday night show is going to work. So just listen to this. So basically, Liverpool and Michael Edwards always plot several transfer windows ahead of their rivals, and as deadline day looms on Tuesday, the Reds won't be making any rash moves as the transfer window comes to a close. Indeed, the signing of teenager Harvey Elliott from Fulham 2 years ago has proven to be invaluable to the Reds this summer. Harvey Elliott is set to save the club millions in the transfer market. The 18-year-old has truly come of age in recent weeks after being ushered into the first team fold by Jurgen Klopp. Following his stellar loan spell with Blackburn Rovers last season, there were initial thoughts that another temporary switch may be best for his development, with Xherdan Shaqiri and Mohamed Salah then ahead of him on the right flank. However, the Liverpool boss has decided to utilise his talents in more of a central area. So far in a new campaign, transformed into a midfielder, the former Fulham man offers an attacking edge to the Reds in the middle of the park. Coming on as a late substitute for Naby Keita against Norwich in Liverpool's opening game, Elliott adopted a relatively wide position alongside Salah as the pair combined in the final few minutes. Rewarded for his efforts with his first Premier League start the following week against Burnley, Elliott seemed to constantly receive the ball on the half turn as a shortcut to run at the Clarets' defence. Driving the team forward, the teenager kickstarted several counter-attack moves, as well as continually fluently contributing with Trent Alexander-Arnold and Salah on the Reds' right side. His defining moment in the match came when he chest-controlled a trademark 60-yard pass by Virgil van Dijk out by the touchline before feeding the ball inside to Alexander-Arnold, whose lofted pass set up Sadio Mane for the team's second goal and ultimately sealed the victory. Since his starring role at Anfield, Elliott has also seen Shaqiri leave the club to join Lyon, handing him the potential opportunity as a rotational option for Liverpool's talismanic Egyptian. As a wide forward with Blackburn, he recorded the third most assists in the Championship with 11 in 2021 and chipped in with 7 goals for the Rovers side that finished at mid-table. Having the spot of backup right winger would also suggest that the midfielder could play a pivotal role in the cup competitions this year. Reds fans will hope Elliott can be the catalyst for the team to make a concerted push for domestic silverware, having only been as far as the quarter-finals since 2017-18. That Klopp believes the youngster's long-term future lies in another position, though, speaks so highly of the German boss, rates his quality, as well as giving the team a versatile option in attack. A central midfielder was believed to be a priority throughout the transfer window following Gini Wijnaldum's departure to PSG, Although, with Ibrahima Konate remaining the sole new arrival, it appears the club believes his replacement was already within the ranks. His emergence could mean Liverpool resist the urge for any drastic moves in the market, and Elliott has already proved the value for money at his initial £4.3 million fee. So basically, that's a fantastic piece by Jake Bayliss from the Echo, and I'll just show you it whilst I read it out. And it's actually a piece which basically says here how Harvey can be the money saver. So a great piece on Harvey Elliott, that is. That's what I mean. I like to Friday night show. I'll always give you news from, I say news from the city. The Echo is actually made in Manchester, unbelievably, but you know what I mean. What goes on in the city is in this paper, and I think that's a fantastic piece because it does make you realise that initially he was a right attacking midfielder, but he's dropped into central midfield. What we always crying out for, a lot of us said we need a Coutinho, somebody that goes forward. We need somebody that can pass the ball through an eye of a needle. But everybody wants these 60, 70, 80 million pound signings. What was the point of buying Harvey Elliott if it wasn't for exactly these situations where we do get the youngster coming through and he's going to be a world beater? He really is going to be a world beater. So just going to get into comments now about this subject we're talking about. So Harvey John, of course it won't be boring. No, of course, 100%. No, me personally thinks Harvey Elliott will bring more goals than Gini did. Scott, I totally agree on that because he goes forward so well. I mean, I still can't get over the way he chested that ball. I mean, the ball gets pinged 60 yards. Most people chest it. It nearly stopped dead on his chest. It was unreal skill. And the confidence and the swagger to want the ball. You know, he's 18 years old. Jesus Christ, I'm 38 in March. I'm 20 years older than him, and he's strutting around Anfield doing that. So if there's any more comments on Harvey Elliott, can we mention them now, and I'll discuss them with you before we move on to the next subject. So I'll give it 30 seconds. Yeah, we've got one here from Darren Kent. Harvey has the pace as a wide forward, technically good enough to play in the midfield three, and also can play as a number 10. Lorraine, he will be a long-term team member for the future. I mean, that's exactly it. My team's up there. I've just done my starting 11. I don't know if you've seen that, everyone. I did my starting 11 earlier. I've actually put it on YouTube and the actual Doubters to Believers page. It's just over there. I mean, I don't know if I can just spin the camera a minute and just show you. Yeah, it's there, right? And what I've done, let's just get through my starting 11 actually for the show. I'm going to get some better equipment, so bear with me. Probably best just twist it like that, actually. Right, I'll go into detail with it. So basically what I've done is I've picked Alisson in goals. Alisson Becker is the goalkeeper. Then you've got Andrew Robertson at left back, Virgil van Dijk and Joel Matip centre back, and Trent Alexander-Arnold is right back. My midfield three is Jordan Henderson, Fabinho and Thiago, with Salah, Jota and Sadio Mane. That is my actual 11 for the game against Chelsea, and I just think that's based. I was going to go for Bobby because obviously Bobby Firmino is a big game player in it, but I just had a feeling last minute it was going to be Diego Jota because he's on fire, his movement's good, he's dynamic. So I've done a video for that. So if you want to see the video, I've put it on the group. It's basically it just basically says DTB TV predicted lineup for Chelsea. So that's on the page. So yeah, I agree, Lorraine, with him being the long-term future of the club. Same as mine. You've gone for the same lineup, Darren, yeah? Brilliant. So that's the Harvey Elliott piece. I just want to read out another one now. And this is only a small piece. It's not a very long one. It isn't as long as that one. And it's about this kid called Bobby Clark. Now, for those of you that can you remember, impact sub for Firmino is exactly my thoughts with Jota starting. Because as you can remember, because listen, I'm nearly 38 now, so I can remember Lee Clark. He used to play for Newcastle United. He was manager of Blackpool, manager of Huddersfield, central midfielder. Well, this is his son. So Bobby Clark is the son of former Premier League midfielder Lee Clark. So basically, this is a piece by Jake Bayliss again, who's a sports reporter in the Liverpool City, and he's put: Liverpool have confirmed the signing of Newcastle prospect Bobby Clark after negotiations were first reported last month. Son of former Toon favourite Lee Clark, the 16-year-old is a son of former Toon favourite Lee Clark, the 16-year-old is an England youth international. He's made his Newcastle under-18 debut at the age of just 14. In a club statement, Liverpool said Liverpool Football Club have completed the signing of Bobby Clark from Newcastle United. The 16-year-old joins the Reds Academy set up after his switch from Tyneside on Thursday. Clark operated as an attacking midfielder for Newcastle's youth side and represented England at under-16 level. No fee has yet been reported for the teenager, whose arrival follows a recent trend with the likes of Harvey Elliott and Cade Gordon, both examples of the club's high-profile youth recruitment. Clark sent a message to Liverpool fans on Instagram following the move. Over the moon to have signed with this great club. Looking forward to seeing what we can achieve together. You'll never walk alone. In a separate post earlier on Thursday afternoon, the attacking midfielder wrote a classy message directed to Newcastle supporters, whom his dad made 265 appearances for during his career. He said, "Thank you to all the staff and my teammates at Newcastle United for an incredible 7 years and everything you've done to guide me to where I am today. You'll always be in my heart." The England Youth International is set to go into Mark Wilkinson's under-18 side this season with the aim of making the step up into the 23 side. The club truly showed their hand in terms of youth recruitment last winter. Cade Gordon and his £3 million transfer fee was the main headline. The 16-year-old had featured in Derby's first team and is now impressing during Liverpool's pre-season. However, the Reds also signed 15-year-old Callum Scanlon from Birmingham and 16-year-old Stefan Basatic from Celta Vigo a couple of months previously. Now, I haven't read that before, and I didn't know we'd signed Callum Scanlon from Birmingham. And let's not forget, Birmingham produced Jude Bellingham, so they've got some bloody good youngsters coming through that team. So that's great. I mean, this is the thing again. FSG are not getting any credit for Harvey Elliott being signed, for Cade Gordon, Stefan Basatic, Callum Scanlon. So why is their module being frowned upon because they're not spending 70, 80, 90 million, 100 million on a player when they're buying players? Harvey Elliott we signed for 4.3 million. That was a tribunal fee, right? What do you think he is worth or gonna be worth in 2, 3, 4 years time? It goes back to that thing, doesn't it? Klopp doesn't buy world class players, he makes them, right? So why are we not looking? It's only our fans, I think, that don't respect our module. When you look at Sky Sports News, watch Gary Neville and all that, they all say recruitment. Roy Keane says it, recruitment. Liverpool's recruitment is the best in the world. I don't give a shit what anybody says. It's the best in the world, right? You go and get Andrew Robertson from a relegated club who turns out to be the best left back in Europe. You go and get Gini Wijnaldum from Newcastle United, a relegated midfielder, goes out to be one of the best midfielders in Europe in his position, which is why PSG just paid him nearly 200 grand a week. Yeah. Then you go and get Sadio Mane from Southampton. Look at him; he's turned into one of the best strikers in the world, along with Bobby Firmino, along with Mo Salah, who everyone said was a Chelsea reject, along with the players we have brought in. Alisson Becker is now the best keeper in the world. Virgil van Dijk, everyone laughed at us when we bought him from Southampton, the best defender in the world. So why do some of our fans slate our owners, our director of football, Klopp? And everyone annoys me when they keep saying, our owners need to go. Just watch the press conference today with Jurgen Klopp. He actually is categorically more or less telling you that it's his decision whether we sign people or not, because he said it today. If there was a player out there that I believe could improve what I already have, then believe me, we would sign him, right? So what does that tell you? That tells you the money's there, and if Klopp wants a player, he'll get it. So this is why I want this group, Dallas of Believers, to be one. He is a machine, Darren. To be one of the most educated sort of Liverpool fan groups there is. I don't want all these, no disrespect, fans from the other side of the world that just want, probably supported Man City 3 years ago, or Liverpool this year, or Chelsea this year, because there's plenty of them on the other groups, and their members are triple the size of this group. But I'm not asked. I want this group to have people. This show I'm doing now, Friday night show, right? I want it to be massive in a couple of years' time, where we've got such a good feedback and comments coming through. So this is the start of it. And I want to really, like that. I mean, I learn stuff all the time as well. I didn't even realise we'd signed this kid from Birmingham. I'm going to have a look on Football Manager in a minute and see how good he is on that. Because Football Manager, by the way, normally gets it right when they have potential. For those that have played the game before, know that you find a good player on FM, they usually turn out to be a good player in real life because it's all up to stats and that. Right, so that's the piece on Bobby I've done now. The next piece is the piece by Ian Doyle, which is about the Champions League draw yesterday. Let's just read some of the more comments. So, long-term signing, yeah, Kate Gordon. Yeah, well, Scott Rooney was fuming that we signed Kate Gordon, and Lee Clarkson's supposed to have massive potential, yeah. Renewing our key players too, exactly. Edwards is a machine, social media hype, PlayStation fans, exactly. And still get the best players out then for the next 4 to 6 years if they've done fantastic business in the summer. Yeah, we were speaking about that the other day. Every single contract that FSG have signed, right, is probably an investment of around 40 to 50 million. So anyway, let's go to this piece by Ian Doyle now, and it's Jurgen Klopp admits he laughed when he discovered Liverpool had been handed a tough Champions League assignment. The Reds have been drawn in Group B alongside Spanish champions Atletico Madrid, Portuguese side Porto and Italian giants AC Milan in the season's competition. Klopp's side were eliminated by Atletico in the Champions League 2 years ago, but beat Porto on the way to reaching the final in 2018 and 2019. And the Liverpool boss has pointed to plenty of history with the three rivals. I laughed, to be honest, pretty much loud because it's a tough group, said Klopp. It's Champions League, so that's how it is, and you have to play the best teams in Europe, and obviously some of them are in our group. We played, and I don't know how often already, against Porto, so they will be waiting for us. We have obviously a little bit of an open bill with Atletico and AC Milan, a historical one, obviously. So I think our supporters should be looking forward to it. We do for sure. I know that people sit always at home and think, oh, come on, that would be cool. Then you have this team together and the worst of pot 4 and the worst of pot 1 and all this kind of stuff. So we didn't get that, obviously, but we're still pretty ambitious and would like to show the real hard work from last year, qualifying for the Champions League, that it was worth it. That's how we play the games. Liverpool are expected to discover their fixture schedule for the group stage before Saturday's lunchtime, with the first match taking place on September the 14th and 15th. And with the Reds playing 7 games in 22 days following the forthcoming international break, it will be the first real test of a squad yet to be finalised, with transfer deadline approaching Tuesday night. It's not that we play in the Champions League and have a look at who we can play in the Champions League and then who we can play in the Premier League, said Klopp, speaking to Liverpool.com. No, we try to bring the best team always on the pitch, but we need the squad definitely for the whole year. That's definitely the case. So, yeah, the Champions League groups, you had to laugh at it, but I actually prefer it. I'd rather us have a Porto, a Milan, and a Atletico Madrid. I was talking to my mate Sean McAllister, who's DTB TV as well, and we are going to go. And I was decided, because I wanted to go to Milan, I wanted to go and see the San Siro before it got knocked down, but we both agreed on Porto. We're going to go to Porto. We're just waiting for the fixtures to be released, and we're going to go to Porto away, probably fly from Don Lennon. And if it's a Wednesday game, we'll fly on the Monday, come back on the Thursday, or if it's a Tuesday game, we'll come back on the Wednesday. So really looking forward to my first ever European away game. Whether we get a ticket or not, we're just going to go to sample the atmosphere around the city we play in. So that'll be great. To play that level will set us in good stead for the league too. Yeah, definitely. And it's what you play. That's what you want to be in the Champions League for. You want to be in the Champions League for these games. Right, so there's one more piece here. That's a Champions League piece done. And it's another one by Ian Doyle, and it says, tough task, but the Reds to be feared. And it says here, those seeking omens from Liverpool's tricky Champions League draw will no doubt have been left perplexed. In one corner stand Porto, the Portuguese champions, who have become regular European rivals this century, with the Reds going on to reach the final in 3 of the 4 times they have been paired together. Then comes AC Milan. The only previous competitive clashes having come in the Champions League showpiece, 1 won and 1 lost. So in 2005, we won the Istanbul European Cup. In 2007, we lost it in Athens. That was the last times we played Milan. So then comes AC Milan, the only previous competitive clashes having come in the Champions League. And finally there is Atletico Madrid, the gnarly, awkward combatants against whom Liverpool have won only once in 6 meetings and infamously were eliminated from last season's Champions League on Anfield. I was working that night at Anfield, and I got COVID. I had COVID for 2 weeks, after that match. It should never have been allowed in our stadium. Contrasting fortunes then, if history is repeated, but beyond dispute, is that not for the first time the balls could have dropped more favourably for Jurgen Klopp and his players. Atletico saw off Real Madrid and Barcelona to win La Liga last term. Porto reached the Champions League quarter-finals, defeating Juventus along the way, while Milan, after a lengthy spell in the doldrums of Serie A, finished runners-up. There are narratives aplenty. Atletico boss Diego Simeone, who whipped up a storm on his last visit to Merseyside with former Kop idol Suarez leading the line, and long-reputed Liverpool target Sal Niguez, is the engine room. Porto boasting midfielders Marco Grujic and chief wind-up merchant Pepe, still annoyingly everyone in the heart of the defence, and Milan with self-ordained legend Zlatan Ibrahimovic in attack, along with Oliver Giroud, who lives for scoring against Liverpool. Certainly with so many firebrands involved, the officials will be earning their coin in this group. In normal times, all three opponents will represent inviting away days, although UEFA are yet to make decisions on whether travelling fans will be permitted in European competition before Christmas. See, I didn't even know that. That's kind of annoying. I hope that doesn't be the case, because it's saying here that there might not be allowed any away fans in the Champions League until after Christmas. Oh well, hopefully Porto will be after Christmas then. So it says here, but there is one guarantee: Anfield will be absolutely rocking. Having watched on from home at Liverpool eke their way to the quarter-finals, fans are now hungry for their Champions League fix. Each tie offers its own glamour, not least seven-time winners Milan making their first competitive visit to Anfield. Of course, Liverpool were very much a club the other three would want to avoid, and with matches likely to be closed to thought, the lack of an obvious minnow should work in the Reds' favour. The others will conceivably take points off each other. Klopp will be delighted the team has been spared the long journeys facing some of their Premier League title rivals. However, the likely high intensity of the match will be the first test of the squad that will mere days before the transfer window closes, with Liverpool only signing Ibrahima Konate. Juggling resources will be crucial, with Liverpool facing 7 games in 22 days after next month's international break. So after next month's international break, we have 7 games in 22 days. Clashes at Leeds United and a home match with Man City, with a lengthy trip to Norwich in the League Cup and Brentford in the league, sandwiched between Liverpool's progressed from the Champions League group stage. Don't be surprised if Klopp, if it goes to the wire once again. Klopp and his players, though, are battle hardened in Europe and know how to get the job done. A tough task, of course, but Liverpool have nothing to fear. Champions League nights are on their way back. So that's a great little piece there regarding the Champions League. So we're now 25 minutes into my show, and we're now going to do a Q&A. So if there's any questions from any of you, then feel free to ask me some now, and we'll answer them. All 3 away games will be fantastic atmosphere, but Anfield will be rocking. Yeah, definitely will be rocking. If you want to win, you have to be in it and beat whoever is put in front of you. Tough group, but I think we will get through, but there's never easy ties. Everyone wants to be in it to win it. Totally agree, Tony. We owe both Madrid and Milan. Yeah, we do. I didn't watch any of the qualifiers for the Champions League, so not sure if any away fans were at the games. I don't know. Well, the Rangers fans were at Alistair on Thursday, so I don't know. I think we'll be fine. I think it'll just be like the amber list, red list. I mean, if you can go on holiday abroad, surely you can go on holiday and watch a bloody game. So I really want to do one of my bucket lists, which is I've never been to a European away game. You know, flying from John Lennon Airport would be great. So I'm really looking forward to that. So any more questions, everyone? For the first show, I'll just make it half an hour. So I'll get some more ideas as to what we can do for every Friday night. And then obviously when I've got guests, which I'll have in the next couple of weeks, I'll obviously then switch to them and get their opinions, which will make the show a little bit longer. No questions? No? Right. Well, basically then, what I'm going to do is let you know that the Premier League that we've done, DTB TV Premier League Fantasy Football, has 19 teams in it. So that's done. That started at the start of the season. So let me just check now actually while I'm on the page, while I'm on the group. live. Let's see who's top of the table at the moment. So leagues, here we go. So it was £10 to enter this league, and at the moment Jonathan Murray, whose team is called A Tough Nut to Crack, he's got 192 points. Tom Monk, I know you're watching it live now. I like it up Diaz. What a name for a team, eh? You're joint on 192 points as well in second. Then you've got Balls of Fire, who's Renique Lambert. He's third with 180 points. And then you've got Jason Tannum. He's fourth with the Brampton Bombers. Fifth is Matty Bride on 161 points. Then you've got Joe Carberry, who's sixth on 156 points. Then you've got Yash Joshua on 150 points in seventh. Tony Croft, eighth on 148 points. Anfield Rovers, which is my team, I'm ninth. But I've made a couple of transfers this week. Hopefully that will help. I put Bamford up front from Leeds. Righteous Rovers, Kevin Hardy, you're 10th, so he's top 10. So basically, after this weekend, it's looking like John Murray will win his free scarf for being top after every month, whoever's top gets a free scarf off me. I'll go and pick them one from the stalls around Anfield. And another thing as well, at the end of the season, if you're in the top four, there's cash to be dispersed between each top four winner. And also, if you finish fifth or sixth, you get a free scarf for finishing in the top six. So it's just like the Champions League, Europa League format. So that's that. But we've then got the Championship division, and that is starting tomorrow. So if you want a fantasy football team, you need to join now, as in now before tomorrow, or in the morning at latest, because that is literally got so far 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 teams in it. So we've got 20 in the Prem, 16 in the second division, Championship division. And again, that's the same, £10 to enter. There will be cash for the top four, and if you finish in top after the next month, you'll get your scarf. So that's that out of the way. The scratch card is 11 teams left. I've not been updated yet. I'm on 170. Let's have a look. Are you on 170? Are you? I'll just go back on it now. What league are you in? Are you in a different league? Because I can't see you in the... What's your team called, Darren? Anyway, like I say, whilst I'm just doing on that, basically we've got 11 left. So only 11. So we've actually got rid of 19 teams. We just need the last 11. So if you can spare £5 and have a chance to win 70 back, and also help us send 30 quid to Liverpool's St Andrews food bank, I'd really appreciate it. So please, can you have a go? If you can't do it today, can you do it in the morning? Because we've got to fill this card, or else it's going to have to roll over to Leeds. And the problem with it roll over is a charity loses out, because once we've filled this card and sent it to each person, basically we then pick a new charity for Leeds. So brilliant, everyone. So great. So that's the scratch card. If you can have a go, let me know. We've done all the preview. Yeah, you're pending. All right, Darren. Right, brilliant. So yeah, that's it then. So thanks, that's half an hour done. Thanks for joining me on my first show on a Friday night. See you tomorrow for Liverpool v Chelsea. I'll be back as soon as the AFC Liverpool play at 3 o'clock. Up the Reds, you'll never walk alone.